Hello, thank you for clicking this video today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you do, make sure you click the like button. In this video, we're going to be talking about a new release from JPEG.STORE. This is a pretty exciting release. I haven't seen anything as exciting as this release since they've come out with JPEG.STORE. JPEG.STORE is the leading marketplace on Cardano, so hearing big news from them is very important for Cardano. I mean, that's like OpenSea coming out with big releases or big news. Secondly, we're going to go into, is the government going to try to regulate Cardano? Are they going to try to regulate cryptocurrency? What is safe in this industry? So some pieces of this video will be a bit doomer. However, I hope that you make your own decisions and your own opinions. I'm just going to be speaking from some information that I have, giving my own thoughts, and then letting you guys decide. I would love to hear about what you think in the comment section down below. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you stay till the end. We always do a 50 JED giveaway. That's the Cardano stablecoin, the US dollar stablecoin on Cardano, algorithmically backed by ADA, thanks to the Shin holder. So stay till the end. I'll teach you guys how you can enter that giveaway, and I hope you enjoy the video. To start off with a more lighthearted topic, to not head into the deep dark depths of SEC regulation on cryptocurrency, we're going to be talking about JPEG.STORE and the recent release. What is JPEG.STORE? JPEG.STORE is the leading NFT marketplace on Cardano. They've paid out 20 million ADA in royalties to creators. They've had almost $500 million ADA of trading volume on their platform. They raised $6 million from SeaWorld. Huge product. I don't think anyone has really raised that much money from one individual investment firm. So congrats to them. They also have over 264,000 unique wallets that have actually traded on JPEG.STORE. So big numbers, great news. What is the meat? The meat is this recent release from JPEG right here. Let me grab myself and bring myself in. So now that you can see my pretty face, we're going to move over to JPEG.STORE. Ready? Eyes? We see a little coin fly up into the air, and then we see a money sign JPG. What does this mean? Well, let's zoom in right here on Twitter. We got Gary Gensler's beautiful face there. So money sign hints at cryptocurrency on Twitter. So money sign ADA is how you reference cryptocurrency. So what they are announcing is a JPEG.STORE token. Pretty exciting. Now, there really aren't too many great tokens, Cardano native tokens, with working projects right now. You know, there's some tokens I love. You know, Ding token from Dead Pixel. I'm not saying buy these. I just think they're cool. You know, the World Mobile token, they're bringing real value to people. However, there's no working product yet with World Mobile. There will be one. There's working products in Africa, but there's no, place where we can actually use these tokens yet other than staking through worldmobiletoken.com. So we have a working product. They've raised money. They have a huge team. They develop things fast, and we have a token launching from them. So I'm going to make sure you guys stay up to date on this story. Anything that you need to know about JPEG.STORE, all you got to do is subscribe to this channel, click that notification bell, and click all to make sure you don't miss that video, because I'll be going all into these tokenomics. If they're going to be doing any airdrops, any free tokens for people, any ISOs, whatever it may be, I'll make sure you guys stay up to date on that information. So let's jump into our doomer news. So there's a lot when it comes to regulation on Cardano, and it's not just Cardano, it's the industry as a whole. It is regulation on cryptocurrency. And to paint this picture, to tell you the full story, on the 15th of November in 2021, President Biden signed into law the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. This bipartisan infrastructure package actually dedicated over $1.2 trillion to upgrading America's infrastructure. But, hundreds of pages of into the document, of course, they wanted to add something to regulate cryptocurrency, and Cardano does fit under that definition. What is that definition? They created a definition called digital asset broker. And this provision states that a digital asset broker will constitute any person who, for consideration, is responsible for regularly providing any service effectuating transfers of digital assets on the behalf of another person. So this is very tricky because that definition is so broad that it oftentimes could include miners or Cardano validator nodes. And the issue with this is they're also requiring the digital asset brokers to report tax ID numbers, names, and addresses for any of these, constituents that they are effectuating transfers for. So they're essentially stating in this document, and this actually started in 2023, so anyone that is not following this now could be breaking the law in this definition. Because Effectuating transfers means that a validator node, for example, a Cardano Stakepool or an Algorand node or even a Bitcoin miner, is effectuating a transfer from you to me, and I don't really get to choose who that transfer is for or from. When a Cardano Stakepool actually processes a transaction, it is done at random. So if I start a stake pool and we have 1% of all stake on Cardano, we're processing 1% of all transactions on Cardano. And when we're processing 1.1% of all transactions, it's not the people that delegate to us. It is 1% of random transactions. So it is actually impossible for us to get that data from these people that we're effectuating transfers for. Which is a huge issue. And that started in 2023. This bill was signed in 2021, stating that people had until 2023 to actually do this. But the definition is so broad, and there hasn't been any legal cases that really refine this or give, an actionable thing for stake pool operators to do to follow this law. And this is really, in my opinion, what leads to contingent staking. I haven't talked about contingent staking on this channel. But contingent staking is something that Charles has actually recommended to be implemented into Cardano. And what contingent staking means is that when you delegate to a stake pool, that stake pool will have the option, upon creation, or they'll have the option to add it, to actually limit who delegates to their stake pool, right? So let's say, you're from Dubai and my country says, well, I can't have people from Dubai delegate to my hypothetical stake pool here. Well, then I, as a stake pool operator, am going to have the ability to deny you to delegate to my stake pool. I don't really have much of an opinion on this. I need more information. To me, my first thought is that this is negative and that I don't like it. At the same time, I understand that there may be a reason for this, whether that be regulatory or to give, pool operators the ability to, deny people and actually, control their business. But my first thought when it comes to thinking about this is bad. This is negative. Keep the layer 1, rid of any KYC. And then build this all into the layer 2 and have contingent staking be built into the layer 2. For example, Sebastian just released a smart contract. Sebastian, the CTO of DC Spark, released a smart contract that would allow people to actually do this now. So why do this in the layer 1 when we can do this with smart contracts, or we can do it with some layer 2 application that requires this KYC for jurisdictions that are pushing these hard regulatory frameworks for stake pool operators or validators in the United States or in any other jurisdictions. So since then, pardoning my language, there's been a huge shitstorm on Twitter in the Cardano community. I've seen very valuable people, well-known names, people that are builders, not just shit posters on Twitter, talking about leaving Cardano and being done with it, because this isn't decentralization. Building this into the layer 1 is the opposite of that, and it removes the trustless nature that we all know and love about Cardano. I'm not saying that. That's just what a lot of people are saying. I don't really agree or disagree with them yet. But these people are talking about actually leaving Cardano, people that have been here for years, builders, people that have spent millions investing in infrastructure on this chain are questioning actually leaving the network because of this. So this is a very polarizing and contentious issue, and that's really why I have a little bit of an opinion, but I'm still trying to figure it out. And this is harmful. We can't have these valuable people and these builders leave, because following Pareto's principle, 20% of people are going to build 80% of what we know and love on Cardano. So we need those people that fall within that 20% category, and the people that I'm seeing state this are some of those people. So what do we do? What do we do? How do we solve this? Well, we need to keep talking. We need to keep communicating and seeing what the best outcome is for this, because I personally hope that Cardano continues to trend towards a decentralized and trustless blockchain, and with that, regulation will come. But I hope that regulation lives on the layer 2 so that the layer 1 can remain trustless and decentralized. But it does get worse. It does get worse. So this isn't really about Cardano, but we do have something from Gary Gensler, and let's jump into that. So I've got a text-based article here, and it's actually with Gary Gensler, and this is on newyorkmag.com. But there are definitely some quotes in here that make me a bit worried about the future of cryptocurrency, specifically I hate to say it, but altcoins, anything that's not Bitcoin. I know Cardano is not really an altcoin. Cryptocurrencies are all created equally. Just kidding. FTX, Celsius, many of them were not. But there's a couple quotes in here that essentially state that everything is a security except for Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin has already been deemed a commodity in the court of law many years ago. So as far as investing in Bitcoin, to me, that is one of the most valuable things about Bitcoin is the regulatory framework around it and the fact that it's already been deemed a commodity. But going into some of those quotes that have me a bit worried, what are those quotes? So this is the quote from Gary Gensler. Everything other than Bitcoin, Gensler told me, you can find a website, you can find a group of entrepreneurs. They might set up their legal entities in a tax haven offshore. They might set up a foundation. They might lawyer it up to try to arbitrage and make it hard jurisdictionally or so forth. In other words, there are people behind these cryptocurrencies using a variety of complex and legally opaque mechanisms, but at the most basic level, they're trying to promote their token and entice investors. Bitcoin, of course, has a unique history and a creation story that is fundamentally different than any other crypto projects in this respect. This is again from Gary. They might drop their tokens overseas at first and contend or pretend that it's going to take 6 months before they come back to the US, he continued. But at the core, he argued, these tokens are securities because there's a group in the middle and the public is anticipating profits based on that group. The claim that crypto investors are hoping to profit based on the efforts of those intermediaries in much of the same way that stockholders from public companies hope to see their investments appreciate over time. And central to Gensler's position, as a legal matter, there are actually transactions and securities that fall within the SEC's jurisdiction. So that is a huge statement. I mean, look at the way Cardano is set up. You have IOG based in the United States as the development firm. You have the Cardano Foundation that's based in Switzerland. That is the opaque legal method. There is definitely a decentralization of power there. But to state people don't purchase ADA to get a return is a bit naive. And this question leads me to is, well, how can another decentralized currency ever be created? Because, you know, Bitcoin does have its unique story, but how else in this world, in this industry, do you actually create a new decentralized protocol? You're going to have to set up a foundation. You're going to have to, you know, create a token. You're going to have, you know, people in the United States or people in other countries that are developing these tokens. And they're going to have to make money to be able to ship these protocols. They're going to have to bring in users. They're going to have to advertise these cryptocurrencies. So in my opinion, what he's stating here, Gary Gensler, will actually limit any new and revolutionary protocols to ever be shipped in the future ever again, because Bitcoin has this unique story where Satoshi disappeared into, you know, thin air. Well, you know, how can any new cryptocurrency be created without using this, you know, opaque legal system? I mean, there's really no other way because of how harsh the regulation is in the United States. That's why they have to do this, because you're deeming everything as a security. So, you know, another hot take from Gary Gensler. I'm not very excited about it. I'm going to link this article down below. It's a huge article. I definitely recommend reading the whole thing. I hate reading articles that are long like this, but this one is definitely worth it. He goes into Sam Bankman-Fried, how Sam Bankman-Fried was trying to give the jurisdiction of cryptocurrency to the Commodities Exchange instead of the SEC, and how that failed. You know, Gary Gensler has met with SBF multiple times, and he didn't do anything the entire time. He waited for everyone to lose their money. He settled for $100 million with BlockFi, and then of course they went bankrupt shortly after that. I mean, there's a lot in this article. I definitely recommend that you read it. But we're definitely in a bit of scary times in cryptocurrency. For me, Cardano is one of the best blockchains out there, hands down. I mean, number 3 is being, you know, a bit nice to Ethereum, but Cardano is number 3. There is no other cryptocurrency out there that is as exciting or as well built or has a community like Cardano does. And with that, you know, Cardano is the one that I focus on. The only thing that I worry about Cardano, and I've said this before, is regulation. The US government may and probably will come after Cardano, and that is the risk that you associate with investing in Cardano. Of course, you have the risk of a blow up, but the odds of that happening are slim. The real risk here is the SEC. So if you made it till the end of the video, I'm going to be a little harsh here. Comment "fuck the SEC" down below. I know I've never said anything like that before, but come on, man. We're really trying to build, you know, technology that betters society, that brings someone that's on the bottom up. You know, the whole story behind Cardano is that there's 3 billion people that don't have access to traditional financial services. And think about how the poverty of the world would, slowly start to fizz away when 3 billion people have access to the same financial services that you and I do. And of course, the SEC is coming in, they're settling, they're ending companies. They're not finding bad guys. They're not protecting investor funds. Instead, they're going after a technological revolution. So to end this video in a very harsh way, fuck the SEC. I love you guys and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.